pieces. Okay, so now we're going to work on numbers 16 and 18. Use the same set of data. Let's put number 16 and 18. So I'm going to do both of those on the same sheet. Now, we're to do a Pareto chart in 16 and a pie chart in number 18. And both of these have to do with school day. Okay, and we have weekly instruction items for school children in different countries. And we have Japan, China, U.S., United Kingdom, and then France. So, okay, so I want to arrange these because of the fact they want a Pareto chart. We want the largest one to start at the beginning of our list, and then we want to work down to the shortest one. So it looks like 26.9, China has the greatest number of hours. And so they do instruction for 26.9 hours a week. All right, the next largest I believe is France, 24.8. So we'll put France in here. Okay, the thing with Excel is that it puts the columns in the order in which you enter them. So if you want a Pareto chart, you need to start with the largest number of hours and work down to the shortest. So France is 24.8. United Kingdom, 24.6. So UK, 24.6 is a little bit less than France. And Japan is 23.8. Okay, and then at the bottom is 22. The U.S. does instruction for 22.2 hours on average. So we now have our columns. Maybe I want to make that nation or country. Okay. Okay, so now I can highlight what I want included in the graph. And for a bar graph, and you'll notice vertical graphs are called column graphs here in Excel, and then horizontal graphs are called bar graphs. We want a vertical one, so we want a column graph. So I want to add some descriptions. Let's see, this would give me a title and then a little bit below, and I don't really want that. Let's go here. Let's see, let's increase this to hours of instruction. And we really don't need that, so I'm going to delete it. And I need to add a, let's see, layout. I want an axis title. I want horizontal axis. Let's put this in here, oops, A-T-I-O-N. Okay, so there we see a Pareto chart. It's going from the longest bar on the left to the shortest bar on the right. And that's what is requested in number 16. Okay, so you could click on this and copy it from the home, copy it, and then paste it in a Word document if you were writing a paper on that. Let's now do number 18, what they want us to do with the data. And so again, I'm going to highlight the data from my table to indicate that's what I'm using. And I want a pie chart for number 18. So I'm going to do a pie chart here. And I'm not really fond of this particular setup because of the fact that most of our printers here are black and white. And our copier is black and white. So what I'd like to do is fix the labels so that they show up on the actually on the sections of the pie. And again, I want hours of instruction to make that look a little bit better. So my answer to number 16 and then my answer to number 18. And you can see, whoops, I don't want to move that so far off center. You can make changes as you want. In this case, I'm pretty happy with that graph. You could, if you want to, just do it in black and white. If you realize you're going to be using a black and white copier. That may work better. Although I find it difficult to read Japan when I do that. So anyway, that's the way you can do a pie chart or a circle graph. And notice if you were to use, when you go to the pie chart, if you wanted it to look more like a circle, you could do this. Okay, so that's what we would have in that case. All right. And I'm sure I've run over 15 minutes, so I'll have to split this in half. Now, in number 20, we're to do take the frequency distribution we did in exercise 24 in section 2-2 to construct a frequency polygon. So again, what we would want to do is enter the endpoints, or the midpoints, I should say, of the different classes we set up in exercise 24, and then put the frequencies beside those. So we'd want to use the midpoints in the first column, which would indicate the depths, and then we would indicate the frequency in the second column. So we'd have depths here and frequency here. You'd want to highlight that and then do a line graph. Of course, it may give us some problems like we had here. It may want to do two separate lines. I guess you could do a scatter plot and then have it draw the lines. I'm thinking still there you're going to get two sets of dots and it's going to want to connect them. So might have to play around with that for a while. I think maybe StatDisk might be a better choice again on number 20. And the last one I want to mention, I want to look at number 24. This is what I was trying to get across in the lecture on page 73. You can see they're comparing the braking distance for a Chevrolet Aveo, a Nissan Altima, and a Lincoln Town Car. And the way the graph is drawn, it looks like there's a large difference between the three cars in terms of braking distance. But if you'll notice, the horizontal axis actually starts at 130. If it were to start at 0, you would see there's very little difference between the braking distance. One looks like it's about 132, 133, the next one's 136, and the next one's 144. So there's really not as much difference between the braking distances as that graph seems to imply. Okay, so that concludes the section 2-4 sample problem.